Alright, so welcome back to Showdown Quickies. Today we're doing things a little bit sort of interesting. Well, not so much today. Next time we'll do things a little bit interestingly. Because this one I guess it kind of still counts. Because you can see here I'm still using sort of the same thing where I'm going through the Alolan Pokedex and I'm picking off Pokemon and making a team based off of them. I did this with this team here. I picked the Sudowoodo, built a team around that, quote unquote. But I was gonna use this for the Alola-Marowak episode, even though I didn't build a team around Alola-Marowak. Maybe, I'll just count it for the Sudowoodo episode, just cause like I have a Sudowoodo episode, it's just not on me right now, it's at work. So I'm just gonna have to just count this as a Sudowoodo episode, and then, we'll do something else for Alola-Marowak later on. But yeah, I just have a Sudowoodo here, it doesn't really have much going for it. I just have it with Sturdy. I believe it has a rocky helmet maybe, or yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a rocky helmet. I wanted to give it the berry that lets it go first when it's in low health, but that's not released, so I can't use that. It has Earthquake, Explosion, Stealth Rocks, and I think like Stone Edge, like nothing really major. It just, throws rocks and blows up. That's really all this tree does. And then to complement that, I have some pretty decent Pokemon on my team. I have the Alola-Marowak, that I mentioned a couple other times. Pretty standard set, just Flare Blitz, Shadow Bone. I have Will-O-Wisp, which I like to run on Alola-Marowak. And then the other move is Earthquake. I have the Salamence, which I've used a couple of times. Just, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, and Fire Fang, I believe. This Greninja, I believe, is actually an Ash Greninja, or I should say a Greninja with Battle Bond. So it has, Hydro Pump, I believe it has, I'm pretty sure it has Hydro Pump, but I think it also has Water Shuriken, Dark Pulse, and then one other move that I don't remember. We got the Salazzle, which I believe is actually might be a substitute set, it might be a choice spec set. I'm not actually sure too much about this team, because I made this team a while back. And then we got the Alola-Muk, who has the same set as always. I'm assuming that my opponent's going to start off with the Roserade, most likely, or the Mamoswine, as those are some pretty usual leads. I don't really have a solid lead, or at least a readable lead, aside from Sudowoodo, but no one's going to be like, oh shit, Sudowoodo, I got to prepare for that accordingly. So I go ahead and start off with Sudowoodo. He actually goes into the Arachnoid, hits me with a Liquidation. I survived with the Sturdy, thankfully, down to 1 HP. I managed to throw out the rocks, which is nice, but then he hits me with Liquidation. Dead goes to Sudowoodo. That's why I didn't want to make it the Sudowoodo episode, because they didn't really do a damn thing. So after that, I go into my Alola-Muk, hit the thing with a knock off its Mystic Water, which was interesting. But then it hits me with his Leech Seed, or Leech Life, I should say, doesn't do much. I'm gonna say Poison it, and then after another Poison Jab, down it goes. Then brings out the Lucario, hits me with an Aura Sphere, doesn't do too much damage. I hit that thing with a knock off its Life Orb, which is nice. Then I get the hell out of there. Go into my Marowak, knowing that another Aura Sphere was coming. Then I double switch into my Salamence. After that, I get hit with a Dark Pulse for whatever fucking reason. He switches, goes into Tapu Lele here, which really sucks. I try to go for an Earthquake, or I do go for an Earthquake. It does a good amount of damage. I'm thinking I'm not faster than this thing, but I was like, oh, fuck it, let me just go for it anyways. Doesn't matter because I die from that. After that, I go into a Green Nega here, and then I switch again, do a double into my Alola-Muk to get the Moon Blast. Unfortunately, after a second one, down goes Alola-Muk. I switch, go into Princess Poison here, trying to get rid of that Tapu Lele, but then he switches, goes into his Mamoswine here, hit the thing with a Sludge Wave, at least break its sash, hits me with an Earthquake, destroys Salazzle, obviously, and I go into here, Green Nigga again, he goes into Lucario. I managed to hit that thing with a Scold. I ended up killing it, which allows me to activate my Battle Bond, which, turns me into Ash Greninja here, which is fucking great. I go for a Shadow Sneak for whatever reason, like a dumbass, not knowing that the Misty Terrain cancels that out, so I lose Ash Greninja like an idiot. So all I have is Marowak against 4 fucking Pokemon. He switches, goes into his Arcanine. I hit the thing with a Shadow Bone, do a good amount of damage. Then he switches, goes into his Mamoswine for whatever reason. I hit that thing with a Shadow Bone. I destroy that. And I'm intimidated at this point. Then he comes out into the Arcanine again, intimidates me even further. Uses Morning Sun on his Arcanine. I hit that thing with a Shadow Bone. It doesn't really do too much damage. He goes into Tapu Lele after that. I hit that thing with an Earthquake. Down goes Tapu Lele, and after that he goes back into Arcanine, lowers my attack for like the 3rd time, hits me with a Toxic finally. I finally finished that thing off with an Earthquake with a crit after the massive defensive drops, and then he's finally left with the Roserade. Hits me with a Sludge Bomb. I resist it so it doesn't do too much damage. Then I hit that with a Flare Blades and kill it off, even though I have, you know, -3 attack or something ridiculous. Stay fresh.
He moves onward without pause until the day he completes his great quest